Okay, so now let's talk about the production analysis that you have to do. So you will see two theatrical productions this term. It breaks my heart to say you will only be seeing two. In the past, I used to assign four. It's like teaching a course in photography and showing you two pictures. But I have tried to sneak in some additional ones by having the plays that you read uh, giving you videos of those shows too, so you can see more theater. But as I may have said before, I've always taught in semesters, and quarters are just so short. So um, I used to make students C4, and they would write short responses. It was great. At least I knew I was making them to go. I knew I was making them go to the theater. Well, now you're going to write a little bit longer response, but you're only going to see two. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to see your two shows. For each show you see, you're going to write somewhere between 400 and 600 words, responding to them by addressing the questions that are listed here on the description of this assignment. This does not have to be formatted like an essay. You can simply cut and paste these questions and answer them in this format. Although no, don't do that, because then we won't really know what your word count is. The word count needs to be 400 to 600 words that you generate. So don't just cut and paste this into a document and then, you get where I'm going. Don't do that. They don't have to be a formal essay. They can simply be questions. So responses to these questions. So if you do want to just follow a question format, you can just number them one, dot, 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 whatever. I am not really anticipating that you're going to respond to every single one of these questions. No, I am not. But if you can, that would be great. You might think 400, 600 words is a lot. It's not. So this is an exercise in writing succinctly because you have to include a lot of information and cover a lot of ground. 12 questions that you could discuss. So addressing these questions, they don't have to be a formal essay. They can be, you can format this any way awesomely that you want to. However, you do have to have proper grammar and spelling and punctuation. So the responses must contain correct grammar and punctuation. Question number 1 is the most important question in factoring this grade. So question number 1 is the most important. I'm not going to read all of these probably, but I will read the first one. What was the director's purpose, message, or concept? What was the point of the production? What does the director say about what it means to be a human being in the world today? As I probably said before, this course could be structured completely around what does a director do? So it's important that you answer this question. And then these other questions, which I am anticipating you to address the majority of them, they are simply applying that production directly to our course content. What's the inciting incident of the play? How would you describe the structure? So read over these. All of these questions are based in the content of the things that we learn in this class. You're going to do two, and these questions are the same for both of them. It's two identical assignments for two different plays. So yeah, so that's what you do. Important thing to remember, you are responding to this production, not the play. I should be able to tell that you wrote this response based on seeing the production, not reading the play, or even worse, not reading online comments you read about the play. This, oddly enough, is the only time I ever get any plagiarism in this class, which is really kind of silly. And students who have done that, they have not gone to see the play, they have gone online and read responses to other productions about it and tried to answer that way. It's not going to work, and it's not worth it because you have a lot of different options for seeing shows. So look at these questions. Additional specific things that I will cover all of these because this is where the rubber hits the road. Include a word count. Let me know how many words this is so I know you know we all know how long it is. You should use vocabulary and concepts from class. You have to use at least 6 advanced vocabulary words from class. Words that you did not know before taking the course. Do not use the term actor. Do not use the term set. Do not use the term lighting or costumes. Use words that you did not know before you took this class, except for the word verisimilitude. If I have to read another paper in which a student uses this word just because they think it sounds smart, I will go crazy. Do not use the word verisimilitude. It will not count. A big factor in the grading is using your vocabulary word correctly. So that's important. This is my only opportunity to know that you actually saw these productions. So as I alluded to before, as I started talking about before, but I have it written out here, it should clearly indicate that you saw this particular show as opposed to just reading about the play or researching it online. You're analyzing this company's choices, not the playwriting. And this can get tricky. You might think you're talking about the acting, but you're actually talking about the way the character was written. So, make sure you're talking about the choices that these actors, designers, directors, and technicians and producers made. Do yourself a favor, read the response before posting it and ask yourself if you could have written your response from just reading the play. If so, you need to analyze this production. All posts except for the first ones must indicate that you have read all the other previous posts and replies to them. All that means is that you don't repeat exactly what they say. This class, I want this class to be as much of a conversation as possible in an online setting. So, yeah, make sure you're reading all the other posts. You don't have to be nice. You can say what you really felt. Feel free to be critical, but don't be insulting. Be critical. You don't have to just throw shade when you really know something, and you know something because you're taking this class. This is short. This is very important. There is no room for defining terms. Just use the term correctly and don't describe what you saw. So before I get ahead of that, defining terms. So instead of including something like a good actor should play clear objectives and obstacles and be free of physical tension. And in this production, ... Nope. All of this is wasted word count. You've got too much to pack in. All you would need to say is, in this production, the actor was very tense and that affected me because blah, 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 you know. Most importantly, please listen to this the most. This is the most common mistake students make. Do not describe anything. You may refer to something, but don't describe it. Don't say, in Act 2, the main actress wore a yellow dress with a cinched waist and bugle beads and you know, whatever. Simply say, the dress she wore was effective because blank. Refer to the dress. You could even say the yellow dress she wore, but you are wasting word count if you describe it. Bear in mind, I am going to do my darndest to see all of these shows that you're writing about, so you don't need to describe it to me. But quite honestly, even if I didn't see it, it wouldn't matter. Because what I'm looking for is your response, not a description of what you saw. Yes, you will need to refer to the design elements at some points, but you are not to use them for your word count. And I will throw this in here even though I have beat you over the head with it quite a few times. As we know, in just because I realized I will upload this probably into it before I actually post it. But how is this graded? Just like all the other written assignments. 100 full credit, and I shouldn't even put 100 because pretend there's a percent sign here. Full credit would be adhering to all the guidelines, a unique and inspired application of the course material, and transcends what was presented in class. You brought your own unique analysis informed by your own awesomeness. 90% is very good work. Assignment, it follows all the guidelines. You clearly understand the course material, and you had insights. You had unique insights. 80% basically means following directions. It's confident work. You followed all the guidelines and you used your especially vocabulary words, but use concepts from the class effectively. 70 is below average. It didn't follow the guidelines and expresses a limited amount of understanding of the material. So follow all the guidelines and use your own very valid response to this material, and you will be doing great. Okay. Yeah, so that's the production analysis. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. See ya.